I got a complaint from one of the people who watches my content that my intro is kind of dumb, so I'm going to be changing my intro. So, as a substitute, I'm just going to roll some stupid meme I found out about recently. Hello fellow game chefs, this is Axemmela, and in this top 9, we will be going over the top Persona 5 palaces. This is all based around my personal opinion, and if you have anything you feel was left unsaid, tell me in the comments below. Anyways, let us begin. Number 9, Futaba's Palace. This palace's only redeeming traits are the music and Futaba's awakening. The puzzles are mostly trial and error, which can be very annoying for someone like me, who hates complicated puzzles. It also drags on for way too long, and I found myself bored until just after the calling card was sent.
Continue on.
The enemies can be, let's say, particularly annoying, especially this
Shadow.
This dungeon is not even challenging, just annoying and too long for its own good. This palace is the only reason I did not attempt to go for the platinum in this game on the PlayStation 4.
I'll reveal your true form.
Number 8, I hope I pronounced this right, Clipfoth World. This is the final palace of the game, and ends on quite a sour note for me. The enemies are overpowered as Vegeta, however it is very short, which works with the fact that it is built up to the final boss. The mini-bosses are annoying as well, but really only because they are massive damage sponges. You can probably guess my opinion on it further based on my last top 10 video, which you should totally go and watch right now, guys. Just take a look up there. I promise lots of good time. Number 7, Cheetos Palace. Wow, you must be surprised Shadow Okamura isn't here yet. Don't worry, he'll be here sooner than you think. Anyways, this dungeon does have that being too long issue that we found in Futaba's Palace. However, it had something new to the mix, something terrifying, something sadistic. That's right, the rat puzzles. The biggest redeeming traits are the bosses, mini-bosses, and music. The smallest one is the character development that I experienced during this dungeon. Mostly for Goro Akechi, which is for reasons that are tied to spoilers. I cannot tell you what that is. Number 6, Depths of Mementos. This palace is filled to the brim with symbolism. An example is the background music, freedom and security. It has the same humming tone found in Tokyo Daylight, the main theme when you are going about in the real world after school generally. This leads to many implications that I will not be going into today. There may be a future video on that, by the way, guys. The aesthetics of the dungeon are on point for the kind of feel they are going for. The enemies are very annoying, particularly Dionysus, who can break the rules of spells in the game as he sees fit. The puzzles are even worse than Okamura's Palace puzzles, which is saying a lot considering how many people hate that place with a vengeance. Number 5, Madarami's Palace. People know my hatred for the boss at the end of the dungeon. Watch my other video. The music is forgettable at best. The enemies are... wow, they're actually not annoying for once and actually feel completely and utterly fair. And they are all aesthetically pleasing too. Speaking of aesthetically pleasing, the palace looks fantastic. But then again, what do you expect if the palace's shadow is an artist? The final point is the mini-bosses. I personally like the one where Joker and Ryuji are fighting this one weird monster thing, aka the one you're probably seeing on screen right now.
Let's go. Ravage.
Number 4, Camus' Palace. Being the first palace in the game, it does not disappoint. It does a great job of teaching the basics of the gameplay, and is very aesthetically pleasing. the enemies are all fairly designed so that you feel satisfaction upon their defeat, and determination upon yours. I never thought the game was being unfair to me in the time this dungeon started and ended. As for music, the palace's themes do their job, being catchy yet slightly warped, just like Camus himself. It's a perfect start to an amazing game, which is definitely worthy of winning that Game of the Year that it did win.
Alright.
Number 3, Okamura's Palace. Being the minority that likes this dungeon is surprisingly intriguing, as the criticism against the palace seems to be only, "Oh my god, the airlock puzzles are all annoying, so the entire dungeon is complete and utter backwater." Yes, that is annoying, but it is one single puzzle in an otherwise great dungeon. It has amazing music, godly visuals, interesting enemy variety, basic puzzles except for that air tech one I mentioned, and plenty more. The only other bad thing, besides the air tech puzzle, is the final boss of it. Which is another point that you should go watch that video, guys. Please, I need to earn 10 cents from it to go to my Nintendo Switch money, please! Number 2, Kanashiro's Palace. I love this dungeon's music so much, I sometimes listen to it while writing the scripts for my videos. The dungeon boss has depth and humor, the puzzles are fun and simple, the entire concept is stupendous. The mini bosses were nice, the treasure personas were fun to chase after and murder the crap out of for some fat loot. I can't say much else about this dungeon, because there isn't really many negatives, so I guess I should show you the number 1 spot, but if you've already played the game, you'll already know what it is. Number 1, Sai's Palace. Where do I even start with this dungeon? It has the 3rd best music track in the entire game as its palace theme. The casino aesthetic is very alluring and imaginative. The anticipation of things finally connecting, considering how the game started here and then went back in time to explain things, is very stimulating. At least until after it is done, in which case every palace in the game starts to be terrible for some reason. Sai's shadow reveals a lot about her that we never really knew, which is a big deal since she gets a lot of screen time throughout the game, unlike most other palace characters. Anyways, that will have to do it for this video. I hope you share and subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Twitch, which is a new thing that I set up recently. This has been Axemmela. Goodbye!